Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Modular. In honour of Wukong Week, we're going to be taking a quick look at both of his augments, one for Iron Jab called Iron Bolt, and the one for Primal Fury called Primal Rage. Now you can pick up Iron Bolt by rising to the rank of Maxim with the Arbiters of Hexis, or the rank of Flawless with New Loka, spend 25,000 standing. But what you actually get, well, it's not a particularly complicated mod to be honest. While you're aiming at the floor, if you activate Iron Jab, Wukong will launch himself into the air. If you do a ground slam immediately after this, you're going to do 500% extra damage, plus the slam attack range is increased by 15 meters. The percentage is affected by power strength mods, and the range increase is affected by range mods. It's a really simple augment. It takes into account the range of the weapon that Wukong's using at a time. So a maxed out build with something like a Jack attack can knock everything down in something like a 60 meter range, which is pretty ridiculous. And it's pretty fun to see a Wukong doing that on something like Excavation, for example. Defending an excavator like that can be really funny to watch. But combining it with stuff that has a guaranteed status proc on ground slam is another use for it. For example, the dual heat swords that can proc fire when you do a ground slam. I believe the Prova does as well with electricity. And that, obviously, you're going to hit every area in that area of effect, and it's going to get buffed by Wukong with the damage, as well as extra range. And it gives it a pretty useful little niche there as well. Does it mean I like the augment and would actually use it? Not really, no, I wouldn't. I don't think I would. Well, the additional range for the ground slam, that is nice, and so is the damage. The mod's too picky for me how it wants to work. For the most part, it works fine. It knocks down everybody in a really large area, which is fine. But if you start getting into areas where there isn't a lot of room, where you have to launch yourself into the air to do the ground slam, if the ceiling is too low and you hit it, like you do in a large amount of tiles, to be honest, the ground slam can be a bit weird, and sometimes you'll do a swinging attack instead of the ground slam. So you never actually get the ground slam off, you don't get the extra range, you don't get the extra damage. Personally, I feel this mod, while it does have a couple of situations and tile sets where it could be used to great effect, it's too niche to pull off on the indoor maps for the most part. For a fun way of defending outdoor objectives, this augment is definitely a laugh, but it's not one that I think is useful enough for the most part, and honestly, I can't really recommend grabbing it. Which is not what I could say for the second augment, which is Primal Rage. This one, once again, is from the Arbiters or New Loka, costs 25,000 standing. This one has a little bit more to it than Iron Bolt. With this mod equipped and when in Primal Fury, every kill on an enemy will increase your crit chance by 10%, up to a maximum of 100% additional crit chance. The increase does decay at 1% per second. Now, this 100% additional crit chance is non-negotiable. It's not even affected by increasing your base crit chance with True Steel. However, power strength does increase the amount you're going to get per kill, so you'll charge it faster, and duration, like all toggled abilities, will affect the decay of that additional crit chance. It's a fairly simple augment, to be honest. It does give a lot to Wukong, and it gives that extra bit of crit damage, brings his base crit up to 50% at max charge, even before you take True Steel into account. It's a really big boost in the damage output of Primal Fury, since you can only fit so many mods onto your weapon, onto your melee weapon, before you run out of slots. Obviously, Primal Fury takes from the melee mods, so Primal Rage allows you to take a Warframe mod slot and use that to increase your damage output even further, without the need to take a hit on your frame's performance that stacking power strength would do. Either the efficiency loss from Blind Rage, or the duration loss for Transient Fortitude. If you're a fan of Wukong and Primal Fury, then I think this augment is something that you can definitely get some use out of, that's for sure. Just note that if you deactivate Primal Fury for whatever reason, whether it's nullifiers or lack of energy, or you turn it off, then you will lose the effect of Primal Rage immediately and need to rebuild it from scratch again. I don't have a huge amount else to say about this, to be honest. It's just so simple, so useful. It pretty much picks itself if you're going for a Primal Fury build. Bit of power strength, some duration on there to help with the drain, and you're good to go. I say it's worth spending that 25,000 standing to get hold of this one. So I hope you enjoyed my very quick look at these two mods. There really isn't a lot to them, to be honest. One's fun and quirky, although a bit too niche to use, and one that is very decent boost to your Primal Fury. The frame that this is all about, Wukong, his build and his suit up, is coming on Friday. Now, I really want to give a huge shout out to Hydroxate and Tactical Potato. Both of these guys have been helping me revamp my content recently, from thumbnails to my intro, and also some of the sort of back-end stuff that you guys don't normally see. I am hugely thankful to both of them for the help, and links to both of their channels are in the description below. As always though, many thanks for watching, Please smash that like button, subscribe if you like my content. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. I will always try and answer what I can. And I shall see you in the next video.